Can I learn Python and C at the same time? This might be a really stupid question. I'm not planning to do this, and I'm not sure if this is a relevant place to ask this question. But I seem to find that both languages have some similarities. Is it a dumb idea to do this? It's not dumb at all. Learning C will make you understand how low level languages interface and give you direct access to the hardware in some sense and teach you a thing or two about memory safety. Python is a language which will teach you about how to think in code and quickly prototype solutions. OP. Alright, thanks a lot. Gives me a bit of clarity. This guy right here. That's completely untrue. Direct access to the hardware. I guess I didn't word it right. What I meant was one can understand the intricacies of how stuff happens behind the scenes with C pointers, while we don't have much control with higher level languages. That's true, but even pointers don't refer to the real memory addresses. They point to an address in the virtual memory. By the way, I understand the difference with higher level languages you want to point out. This depends extremely heavily on what platform you are programming for. Windows, Mac, and Linux are only three platforms you can program in C for. And aside from some rather historic OS, nearly everything else totally gives you complete hardware access in C. I program microcontrollers, and I can list more than three where C gives you complete hardware access right off the top of my head. A great example is the RP2040, which you can program in C, complete hardware access, or in Circuit Python or MicroPython. The RP2040 doesn't have an MMU or any sort of virtual memory, so pointers are 100% real memory addresses. Two more are the SAMD21 and the CH552 and 8051 based microcontroller. And there are plenty more as well. I gotta be honest. I don't know why I read the whole argument. I should have just kept reading to the other people. If it's seeing their opinion on if it's dumb learning Python and C at the same time. All right, let's continue. Forget that argument. Maybe I'll delete that out. I don't know. The computer science class I teach in C. Let me start over. The computer science class I teach is C and Python. Sure, the basics of how languages run are the fundamental first set of things to learn. Loops, variables, functions, they are in every language, just shaped slightly differently. Just keep on mind that any learning of two things does mean that some amount of each will come along a little slower. So don't compare your progress too strictly with people that fixate on one language. Good luck. Yes, you can, even if they are pretty different. They work at the same way. OP, thanks for your input. I like this answer right here. Learn programming, not programming languages. If you know nothing about programming at all, maybe focus on one language at first so you don't get confused. But once you have the basics, it's no big deal. Languages are just a tool to get the job done. If the task requires you to use some language, you use it. You will realize it's all the same anyways. It's a common problem solving skills that you need. I've been learning C for the past 2 months with the book C Programming Language: A Modern Approach. And let me tell you, I understand this comment now. Learn programming, not a programming language. I come from JavaScript, and I knew this behind my head for a while, but C just solidified that idea that like programming is just manipulating integers and strings. That's it. And then you have like these algorithms to solve problems faster. That's all what programming is. All right, let's continue right here. Now, what do we read? Okay, so this OP replied to this comment. I have a basic idea of how compilers work and how the code I write works. I need to learn languages for my college. They're giving way too little time for each language, so I want to cover the basics of both languages and then dive a bit deeper into Python. Honestly, take a look at C if you're gonna learn it anyway. In my opinion, it's much more interesting than Python. You get to see, like, for real what the computer does. Once you really know how to program in any language, once you really know how to program in any language, you can learn most of Python pretty fast in like a few hours of trying it out. Okay, yeah, that's true. Okay, you can learn a language fast. You can learn the syntax fast, right? But what takes time to learn is the programming methods and algorithms. That takes time. Like constructing sentences, right? Like maybe it's easy. For example, it's easy to learn the French alphabet or the Spanish alphabet, but then using those letters to construct words and sentences, that's something different. Okay, once you really know how to program in any language, you can learn most of Python pretty fast in like a few hours of trying it out. That won't be a big deal. Python is just more practical than C. Also, that's also why I have written that much code in it. But it also isn't as challenging. One last tip: if you want to become a great C programmer, I can recommend the YouTube channel TS Odin. TS Odin. It's not really educational. He just picks some project and then streams himself coding it. This makes the videos pretty long as they are unedited, but I still find them pretty interesting and entertaining. I learn more C there than anywhere else. He doesn't only do C though. I think there were even a few projects in Python. TS coding. Let's give it a look. Shall we? Oh man, why did I go to Netflix, bro? Uh, where's YouTube? There it is. Why did I click on Netflix? Anyways, he said, TS 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 Odin. Was that it? TS Odin. TS Odin Daily. Oh yeah, I've seen this guy before. Yeah, I've seen his videos before. I watch him like I put him as a background. I put him as background noise. Yeah, or background entertainment. Yeah, I don't want to call it background noise. Background entertainment when I'm drawing or just coding for fun or something, or when I'm lonely and I just want something in the background, right? Yeah, I recommend him. He's pretty good. Oh yeah, I'm subscribed. See, I'm subscribed. Yay. All right. Anyways, let's go back. This person said, yes, you can do anything you want. Just have fun. The most important thing is to enjoy and love what you are doing. If you do it, all the things will go on a second plan. Go on second plan. I use them both at my job. I would suggest doing a deep dive one at a time. If you try and straddle learning both, I think you'll get annoyed at C's lack of higher level operations compared to Python and miss a bunch of Python's higher level features in the first place. Yeah, I think I recommend that too. Like, I mean, you could do it technically. You could learn two languages at the same time. But what another poster said, like, yeah, don't learn programming language. Learn how to program. That's the most important thing. So if I were that person, uh, I'd probably stick with Python, right? My first programming language was JavaScript. So in my head, I'm comparing JavaScript with Python, even though Python is better. I stick with Python because it's a higher level language. Learn how to program, learn program techniques and stuff such as error handling and all that good stuff, and just keep at it. Keep practicing Python. Try to learn some algorithms in Python and everything. And once you understand, once you could like script something up and everything, now then learn C, right? Because like this person said, you're gonna miss the good stuff from both languages if you try to learn them at the same time and rush it. One thing I've learned in these past months is that you have to take it slow. take it slow. It doesn't matter. Pick up a book and do all the practices on the book, or look it up a tutorial and try to change the tutorial, right? And try not to follow it step by step. Follow it step by step and then change it around. Play around with it. That's the best way to learn. Okay, I would stick with C for as long as you can. You will learn a lot of things that happen under the hood. It will help you appreciate Python for what it does for you that you have to do in C. I did a bit of C for a CS50X and moved on to Python, and it's easier than C, but I still tend to do C things in Python. Nah, you're better off starting with either one, but I recommend starting with C. It'll make you a better software engineer, no doubt. Python isn't a bad language. It's great and serves an important purpose, but it abstracts away a lot of core computer science fundamentals. C is a surprisingly small language, and once you get a decent grasp of memory allocation, pointers, etc., you will be in a much better position. After that, picking up Python from basic to intermediate should only take 2 to 3 days. I've never done Python, so I don't know how true that is, but I don't know. I feel like he should learn Python first and then move on to C. Start with the easy stuff and then move down to the hard stuff. But I don't know. I'm not an expert, right? Do Harvard's online computer science 50 course. Link is in this subreddit sidebar. It starts with C, then switches to Python after a few weeks. It can give you a good idea of the two languages and their use cases and idioms, and which you want to go deeper with moving forward. Yes, you can, but okay. Should I learn C and Python at the same time? You can, but I wouldn't do it unless you are an experienced programmer. It's best to focus on actually learning the fundamentals of programming first, which are pretty much the same in any language. As I would recommend you choose one, my preference would be C because it teaches better habits and instinct. But you can't go wrong with any language really. No, I think you should learn C, the language first, because it helps you understand the logic behind simple programs, which will improve your problem solving skills in the future, especially concepts like pointers. Especially concepts like pointers. Although C is not an object oriented programming, OOP language, you can approach it in a OOP like way by creating certain libraries, which can also contribute positively to your development journey. After that, you can move on to OOP languages like Python or others. Okay, I think we got the gist of it. Most comments are telling him to learn C first, right? Yeah, some of these people have like real programming jobs and they're experts, so maybe take their word for it. I'm not sure. But in my personal opinion, I started with easy stuff and then I moved down to hard stuff, and like it helped me improved. I don't know. I can't say the other way around. What if I had started with C and then move up to JavaScript? Like if I thought when I started learning, I didn't know what you could do with programming, right? I thought programming was just like web development. I was so dumb, right? I always thought programming was just like web development and making websites, but it's not that. It's more than that. So I had no idea until I learned JavaScript, and then I'm moving down to C. They are so different that you will learn them as where am I? Okay, I am right here. They are so different that you will learn them as separate things, and on a deeper level, the difference are very interesting. Learning two style languages at the same time is probably not a good idea. Yeah, it's not a good idea. All right, so we have the top one commenter right here. Let's read his post in this in there. Okay, it's a bit like trying to learn French and Russian at the same time. You can do it, but it's like likely going slower. It's going too slower and more frustrating than learning one at a time. Having said that, people regularly work in multiple programming languages. My first project out of college required me to deliver code written ADA, C, DCL, shell languages for VAX, VMs, Fortran, and SQL. Yes, I'm a fossil. Almost every job since then has required me to either use multiple languages or switch between languages with each job. I personally would advise you to pick one to start with and stay with it until you've internalized enough to write useful code, then start learning the other. But that's A, based on my personal experience, and B, just one opinion of the likely dozens you're going to get. So we have this fossil right here telling us this stuff, right? It seems like he has really good experience. And like I said, yeah, just learn, stick to one. Don't try to learn two, buddy. That's you're just gonna complicate your life. Let's read one more just for the fun of it. Can you? Yes. Should you? Absolutely not. C is lower level and incorporates fairly explicitly the memory model of the computer and lots of dirty details ranging from compilation to the CPP and up the chain. There are a lot of hazards that appear regularly that will confound the beginner. Use after free hazards, buffer problems. I love much C, but I would not recommend anyone start that way. Python it's much more straightforward for a beginner. See that's the same concept I had. Like, don't start with C, start with Python, and then move to the hard stuff. Learn the programming concepts and then move down. All right, guys. So that's it. I will link this post if you guys want to keep reading, right? On the description of this video, and I hope you guys have a good one. My name is Jonathan. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe and give me a comment. Thank you.